Many major banks have come close to failing, and some have already collapsed. As a result, it's become harder for families and businesses to borrow money. This is a big financial crisis, and the government is stepping in with major actions. I suggest that the government work to reduce the risks from these failing assets and inject much-needed money into the economy so banks can stay afloat and begin lending again. This is not about saving individual companies, but about protecting the economy as a whole. In 2008, the bailout was much bigger than anyone expected. At that time, the government stepped in to save banks like Bear Stearns, AIG, and Freddie Mac. But who did they hire to help fix the mess? They turned to BlackRock, led by Larry Fink, a well-connected billionaire. BlackRock was given key government contracts without competition and worked behind closed doors. Larry Fink became one of the most powerful figures in finance, despite most people not knowing his name. Fast forward to 2020, and the Federal Reserve took similar actions during the pandemic. They bought corporate bonds for the first time ever, which caused a huge spike in the corporate debt market. Once again, who did they hire to manage this huge project? BlackRock. Even though they were helping corporations with heavy debt, they themselves owned large shares in these companies. Larry Fink, despite his huge power, remains relatively unknown to the public. He has kept a low profile while building BlackRock into the world's largest asset manager with over $9 trillion under management. BlackRock handles pension funds for everyday people, sovereign wealth funds, central banks, and major companies like Apple and Microsoft. Together with Vanguard and State Street, these firms control nearly 70% of the US GDP. BlackRock's influence extends globally, and it's been said that they own a stake in almost everything. They have large shares in major banks like Wells Fargo and in companies across sectors like tech, oil, gas, and transportation. What sets them apart from other firms is their software, Aladdin, which helps them monitor millions of trades and analyze portfolios 24/7. Aladdin is now used by over 240 clients, and it oversees assets worth more than $21 trillion. That's a huge portion of the world's stocks and bonds. BlackRock's reach is vast, and because of its size and secretive operations, some have called it the world's largest shadow bank. Larry Fink's rise wasn't easy. It started with a massive loss of $100 million early in his career. He started out at First Boston and worked on bond trading. Eventually, he helped create the mortgage-backed securities that contributed to the 2008 financial crisis. Despite this, he was hired by the government to fix the problems he helped create. Larry's company, BlackRock, continued to grow, and by 1999, it went public for $375 million. By 2004, they merged with Merrill Lynch, and today, BlackRock manages more than $9 trillion in assets. But BlackRock's true edge lies in its technology and software platform, Aladdin. This allows them to perform real-time risk analysis and ensure the best investment decisions. BlackRock's reach is so powerful that it effectively controls huge parts of the global financial system. They've been involved in major government bailouts, like the $30 billion in toxic assets from Bear Stearns in 2008 and the $100 billion worth from AIG. Larry Fink went from being considered a failure to one of the most powerful men in finance, bridging the gap between Wall Street and Washington. Despite his power, Larry Fink has remained a shadowy figure. He rarely gives interviews, but when he does, he downplays his influence. He insists that he doesn't see himself as powerful. Still, it's hard to deny that BlackRock holds immense sway over the global economy. One of the reasons for BlackRock's success is Larry's relentless drive. He never wanted to lose control again, especially after his early failure. By 1988, Larry had co-founded BlackRock with a $5 million credit line. By 1993, they were managing $20 billion in assets, and by 1999, the company went public. Today, BlackRock is worth more than $9 trillion, and they've become an unstoppable force in global finance. So what does Larry Fink's company do now? In addition to their traditional investments, BlackRock has expanded into environmental, social and governance (ESG) investing. They've made big pushes to promote sustainability, and Larry has even written letters urging companies to focus on climate change and social responsibility. But the big question is, how much influence does BlackRock really have over the world? They manage vast sums of money, own large parts of major companies, and help control global financial systems. Yet many people have never even heard of Larry Fink. In the end, BlackRock's size and secrecy make it one of the most powerful financial institutions in the world. Despite the criticisms of BlackRock's business practices, it's clear that Larry Fink's strategy has worked. He built BlackRock into the largest asset manager in the world by making smart, calculated decisions. And though some may call their influence shady, the truth is that Larry Fink has become a key player in the global economy. What do you think about Larry Fink and BlackRock's power? Let me know in the comments.